And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Port Center, the Port Center podcast. Honored today, excited today. I am here with junior and starting quarterback of the Port Jervis football team, Dylan Fox. Good afternoon, Dylan.
Good afternoon.
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Appreciate you rocking the Port football gear. Excited to talk with Dylan. I got a couple of announcements first. So, number one, the home football game is tomorrow night. It is a playoff game, 6 p.m. at Gwinnett. We're still under construction, so they got golf carts for people. They're still working on the parking, but it's supposed to be a beautiful night, 6 p.m. against the Beacon Bulldogs, Class B semifinal. That's tomorrow night. Also tomorrow night and Saturdays, the middle school review, Peace, Love, and Broadway. A lot of songs, middle schoolers showcasing their songs. We're excited about that. A shout out to the middle school football Raiders. They went undefeated. The modified football team. Shout out to Coach Amato and his staff, 7-0. And lastly, Monday is Veterans Day. So a shout out to all of our veterans in Port Jervis, around the country. Certainly thank them for their service. If you're watching the show live, jump in and say hello to Dylan. Dylan, it's the day before the game. It's the end of school here. Where are you at in your preparation? If 100% you're ready, like where are you in your preparation for the game with the team and then with you individually?
As a team and me individually, even if we were to play tonight at 6 p.m., we'd dominate.
You're ready.
That's how we are. Even if we were to play Monday, we're ready. That's how we prepare.
You feel 100% ready right now?
Yes, sir.
Nice. How do you feel physically, Dylan? It's been a long season. You play on both sides of the ball. How do you feel physically?
Physically, I feel good. Some small things, small like injuries, but nothing really to hold me back.
Yeah.
Just excited to be out there.
Do you work out during the season as a football player? Like, are you lifting weights during the season?
Not as much as I would off season.
Yeah.
But when I get the chance, like if we're doing film on Mondays, I'll go lift after.
Okay. Christina Marie's watching. Is that family of yours? Who's that?
Aunt Stina.
Aunt Tina, did you say?
Stina.
Oh, Stina. Oh, hey, Stina got a nickname. Cool. Dylan, you're a junior. The team has been highly successful during your run here. You're the starting quarterback. How does that feel to be the starting quarterback of a really successful football team?
Feels amazing. Not only is it just being a successful football team, but I get to be a successful football team with my friends and people I've been playing football with for almost a decade.
Yeah.
Feels great.
Your mom shared a lot of pictures of Maddox and Anthony and different players that you've been really playing with since grade school. And now you're young men. You went from little boys to young men. I mean, you got a beard. You could be 30 years old out there. But it's pretty cool. Dylan, we talked off air about pressure. I was the high school principal a long time. There's a lot of pressure there. You're an 11th grade student. You're in the Honor Society. There's academic pressure there. And there's also pressure to being the quarterback, getting the plays right, making a complete pass. How do you manage pressure?
I really just, take it as it comes. I can't really explain it, but, obviously you said talking about plays, having to make sure everybody's in their own assignments, but I don't know. It just comes easy to me. It's just part of my life now.
You don't get nervous before the game?
Well, obviously a little bit, but yeah. I've never been nervous to the point where it's going to affect how I play.
Yeah. And Dylan, again, I used to officiate basketball too. I wanted to get the plays right. There's a difference between being confident and wanting to play well versus a fear of making a mistake. I didn't want to make the wrong call, but I was talking to myself about, making sure I get the plays right. Do you play more on the confident side, or the fear of losing or the fear of failure drives you?
I'd say more on the confident side. Not only am I confident in myself, but I'm confident in my teammates. Football is a team sport. It's not just me out there. I'm just happy to be out there with all my teammates, all my friends.
Yeah. A lot of moving parts on the field, Dylan. Madame Fedoric giving you a shout out. I don't know how much French conjugation they're learning right now. She got the program on. Great teacher here in the district. Dylan, how do you manage? I mean, you mentioned your friends a few times. You're friendly with a lot of people on the team. If the player's supposed to go this way, and then he goes this way, and you get sacked for a 7-yard loss because he went the wrong way, what do you say in the huddle when you go back there?
You don't bring them down. You build them up. You talk to them. You make sure they understand what they did wrong, and you make sure they fix it. And you bring them up. You say, "Hey, you'll get it next time."
How about that, folks? That's pretty good there. Certainly the coaches, I see them on the sideline and yelling, things like that too. Is that the coach's style as well? Coach Stellato, Coach Straharsky, Coach Hartman, are they of that mindset too, or are they yelling at that guy?
No, sometimes, you have to yell. Sometimes it doesn't get through being calm and, just talking to them. But for the most part, they are about that mindset. They are about building people up.
Yeah, we see them. We're on an incredible run here, multiple years of championships, and the community is excited about tomorrow with Beacon coming in. Again, Gwinnett Field's in great shape, so we're excited. Mom's watching. Miss Stellato, her class is watching. Give her a shout out there.
My mom.
Dylan, we talked off air. Your mom works in the district. Your stepdad is your offensive coordinator. Your family, like, is are you talking football at the dinner table? Is it like, hey, Dylan, pass the mashed potatoes, and you didn't make that play right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, go home. Obviously, with Chris being there, I wouldn't feel I'd be as involved in football as I am now without him there, and I'm really, really grateful for it.
Yeah. What did that mean for you? Was it last year when you took over as a starter? Was it last year? What did that mean for you as a sophomore to get your name called to go in as the quarterback?
It meant a lot. It was kind of a surprise. I was told I'd be splitting reps that week, and then unfortunately for Logan at the time, he went down with an injury.
Yeah.
And I had my opportunity, and we know how that went. My first game, lost 40-0. But I just remember coming out of that game thinking I got to do better.
Mm-hmm.
So I was excited to do better and go far with this great team that we had.
I had asked you about what Coach Stellato says to you maybe after a bad play. Dylan goes over, you get the play. So I always see you talking to Coach Stellato. I mean, it seems like hundreds of times a game, but what's that? Some words of wisdom that he whispers to you there.
Always tells me that I got to compete. I take a play off, make a bad read, throw a bad ball, come over to the sidelines, lets me know what happened, tells me I got to compete. So I get to the next play, go back out, and I compete.
I love it. We wish you good luck tomorrow night, Dylan. Again, a lot of momentum with the team. So many family members watching, Stellatos, Intranovos. Shout out to all of you, this fine young man here. Dylan, you have a lot going on. You're the quarterback. You're going to wrestle after football is over. You're in the Honor Society. You're in your junior year, which is heavy. A lot of Regents exams. How do you balance all of that? How do you after school, you're going to practice multiple hours. You're probably not getting home till 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. I'm sure you're tired. How do you balance it all?
I really you just got to come home and you just got to do it. You got to get in that mindset to where, you just got to get done the things that you got to get done. And recently, I've been not as well with it as I wanted to be,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm, slowly getting better. But I just got to
with all the stuff, with all the balance,
with everything.
Yeah, with everything. Yeah, it's hard, Dylan. Again, all the classes, all the things going on. Kids are balancing things. We talk to a lot of our teenagers about the phones and the time, and I'm constantly telling my own children, get off the phone, go do something you're supposed to be doing. But it's hard. So, what would be some tips you would say for a busy teenager like yourself to find that balance?
Like you said, stay off the phone. Put it down. put it away, shut it off, get your work done, and then you have that time after.
Yeah.
Even I struggle with that, but
we all do.
we all do.
We all do.
But these past few nights, I've dedicated about an hour, no electronics, just schoolwork.
Good. Dylan, do you find yourself having it hard to sleep as game day approaches? Like tonight, yeah. Well, tonight, when your head hits the pillow, are you out immediately, or are you thinking about the game?
I'm thinking about the game, obviously, but I know I got to get to bed at a certain time so I can be well rested for the next day.
Yeah.
Like last night, I didn't get a lot of sleep, but I know tonight I'm going to go to bed even earlier to make up for that.
Yeah. You want to be well rested. You want to have your mind rested. A lot of shout outs here. Miss Intronovo, Chris Fox. Is that your dad?
My dad.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Fox. Nice young man here. Class act here. Very cool. We spoke about some of your teachers here, some of your favorite classes. I know you said Miss Fedoric will be watching. You really like history. Mr. Andrews, Mr. Carroll, the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
They are quite the pair there, U.S. history. What is it about history? Do you like them, or do you like the subject, or do you like both?
Well, both. I've always taken a liking to history. And, one of my interests was to be a history teacher.
Yeah.
But, Mr. Andrews and Mr. Carroll just bring a different element to the whole subject. They make it fun.
On Monday morning, hopefully, again, the Raider football team here plays well. I'm sure there's some back and forth with Mr. Andrews and Mr. Carroll regarding the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are they zinging you a little bit? Or?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Carroll always teases me, telling me stuff I can do better.
Yeah. Mr. Carroll coached with us many years, but incredible teachers. I know Mr. Andrews is a big Buffalo Bills fan, so I'm sure there's a lot of chatter there.
Oh, yeah. They talk a lot. When the Bills and the Dolphins face off, that's all I hear.
Yeah, not memorizing those dates on that day. Dylan, another teacher in a class that got your attention, obviously being physically fit, eating well, nutrition, taking care of your body is important to all of our kids, but certainly an athlete like yourself. Mr. Simmons' exercise science class, that was a new class with us, only a few years. It wasn't the first year last year, right? No, he's been doing it a little bit. You really fell in love with that class and the content and the advice from Mr. Simmons. Tell me a little bit about why that resonated with you so much.
It's really just, something I want to do later in life. I experienced that class and it kind of like unlocked something. It made me realize how interesting that subject is. And Mr. Simmons did a great job teaching the class.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that class specifically, probably my favorite class last year.
You had a good balance of weight training, but also then the classroom time about the food and fueling your bodies. Yeah, a lot about the protein, all of that kind of stuff. So do you pack your own meals? Are you doing all that stuff that he talked about? I know your stepdad, I see him with his little lunch pail every day he comes in. Is that something you focus on, building your meals here?
Not as much as I probably should be.
Yeah.
But, I'll definitely try to eat healthy.
Yeah.
I will.
How about now after school? I always know our student athletes are hungry after school. What are you eating after school before practice? Do you eat anything?
Before practice, I really don't have time.
No.
I really got to get to the field, start warming up because me and Mason Lisberg have a list of chores to do before practice.
Okay.
So
you warm up with Mason. He's the backup quarterback. Yep. He is a sophomore.
Yes.
Okay. Great young man there as well. Shout out to his dad. You and him are warming up together?
Yep.
Yeah.
Every day. About.
And then do you get with Coach Stellato then regarding the plays right away?
Not usually. We usually go over that during our TMO session. Where I'm very knowledgeable on the plays. And we'll install new things and we'll run through it with the team during our TMO session and just execute.
Dylan, there was a lot of criticism of the Indianapolis Colts quarterback because he literally pulled himself out of the game because he said he was tired. You play both sides of the ball on some very physically demanding defensive plays. Can you put your hand up and say, yeah, I got to come out so I could get ready to go back in quarterback. Like, do you do that, or no? You're staying on the field.
I do every now and then, but I want to be on the field as much as possible. So
Yeah.
I'm out there as long as I can be out there. I'm out there.
Are you dialing it back on defense a little bit to save some gas in the tank for being quarterback?
No,
No,
100% both sides of the ball.
you're going out. Number 7, he's on the field.
Mhm.
Wow. Dylan, what's it like for you being on the new field, the turf, the new lights, all that new stuff? What's it like for you to be out there?
Oh, it's amazing. I would even last year playing on Gwinnett before all this new field, it felt amazing.
Yeah.
So to have all new turf, new bright lights, even being out there for the first time, even though we suffered a loss, it was still amazing experience for me.
Yeah. It didn't go our way that night against Minnesink, but certainly everyone was excited to be there. I know you guys were disappointed about that. Dylan, what else? What else about school? You're in the hallways here. Do you feel like, do kids look at you like, oh man, he's the quarterback, or are they, win or lose? Do you feel like people looking at you?
Not so much just people, but more. Sometimes I'll see some modified football players in the hall.
Yeah.
And they'll go for a fist bump,
Nice.
and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I could be a role model to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that in your top of mind that these young kids are looking at me?
Yeah.
Yeah. They are.
As stepdad Chris says, don't play for yourself. Find someone else to play for. Your family, for the community.
Mm.
Little kids looking up to you. We have our youth program. I know when I was in the youth program and I would be water boy for that team, I was always looking up to them.
And I've watched you on the modified team on the sideline there, around all these guys, championship teams, and here you are. You mentioned the community, Dylan. Like, you're heavily involved. Even this week, you were the Big Apple Crunch. You were the Apple, visiting the classrooms. You volunteer at the Grace Episcopal Church, the youth wrestling, the Delaware River Run. You're involved in the community. You're the captain of the football team as well as a National Honor Society member. What does that mean for you to be involved in these community events, volunteering?
It means a lot. I mean, I personally do enjoy it. I enjoy helping people, helping out where needed. At the Big Apple Crunch, I love watching all those kids have a smile on their face.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun, yeah. And then I know Mr. Cancrete was saying he's the quarterback of the football team, and the kids, they were so cute. Yeah. Do you look at those things like, oh, here's another thing I have to do, or do you look at it, this is pretty cool that I get to do these things?
I definitely look at it like, wow, this is amazing that I can get to do these things.
Yeah. And Coach Jaharski, the coaching staff always really has the players at all the parades. They have always involved. There's just so much pride there.
Yeah.
It really is so nice to see. And you did a great job there the other day there with your teammates. That was fun. Yeah. Very cool. Dylan, you mentioned about physical therapy. Do you want to play football in college?
Yes, I do.
You do?
I want to play football in college, and not only play football, but use my ability to get myself a good education. Yeah,
and you definitely want to go for physical therapy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
As of now, that's peak interest of mine because of last year's class with Mr. Simmons.
Yeah, I like that, Mr. Simmons. Thank you. So what do you do now, Dylan? How do you, football ends, you go right into wrestling. Are you mailing out video clips? Are you in touch with colleges yet? It's your junior year here. How much college connections do you have so far?
I haven't really made too much of my presence known. I put out these highlight films of on Huddle and on Max Preps.
And you put them out via Instagram, Snapchat? How do you put those out?
Usually probably a story on Instagram, maybe. Okay. Sometimes Snapchat. And I've gotten a few letters from different colleges talking about different showcases, and sadly I won't be able to make them. But
because you're going to wrestling, or because you're still playing?
Hopefully still playing.
Yeah.
December 8th, state finals.
12 o'clock, the Dome.
Yep.
We went through the schedule today. We don't want to look that far ahead, but certainly getting those dates on our calendars is something we're doing. I know you got to go one game at a time.
Yeah.
Well, good luck in that journey in college. A little commercial, Dylan. We are doing a college sports awareness or information night next Thursday, the 14th. Kids that want to play sports in college, we're inviting from the county, from Delaware Valley, and certainly here from Port Jervis. So hopefully one day we'll be interviewing you, but we'll be doing that next Thursday, the 14th, for our kids that want to go to college, middle school and up, as well as their families. Shout out to my friend Andrew Sampson over in Matamoros. He's watching as well. Dylan, you have some goals here: physical therapy, college, making the honor roll. Any other goals that you want to share or talk about?
Goals in football. Obviously we do have to go one game at a time, but goals is, start out win our sixth section championship.
Sixth in a row.
In a row. It hasn't been done.
How many fingers? That's a lot. Yeah.
No, it gets awkward.
Yeah. And I see you guys in the pictures. Everybody with their hands up. Wow. Okay. So win that championship. What else? What are some other goals?
Win our state quarterfinal game and semifinal game.
Mm-hmm.
Only been done once. We win that quarterfinal game, and no one's ever won our semifinal game at Port.
Dylan, my coach used to say, my basketball coach, the rim got tighter as we moved on in the playoffs or later in the game. The rim got smaller. Do you feel more pressure, or is it just another game for you?
It definitely does start to build on you. It feels kind of like a weight because, you get to that quarterfinal game. Wow, this has only been done once.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the section championship game. You don't want to be the team to lose that.
Yeah.
It does feel like a lot of pressure, but just got to go right back out there like it is just another game.
And the game is so funny. The momentum can change so quick.
Yeah.
I mean, you're backed up against your goal line, and here goes Anthony Theodore, and you throw a bomb down there, and now all of a sudden they're playing that crazy music, and we're on the board, and there's momentum there. You really have a chance and a hand in changing that momentum. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be on the positive side of the scoreboard and moving forward there. Dylan, how about game awareness? The clock running, timeouts, getting out of bounds, things like that. The chains moving, stopping the clock. How much are you thinking about the chess matches of all of those kinds of things?
Being honest, not that much. It's kind of just in the back of my mind. Like, it's not something I have to think about. Oh, we have a short time. I got to get out of bounds at any cost. Oh, first down marker, 5 yards away. I got to get there.
Yeah. You're keeping that play, just the play you're doing right in front of you right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Yeah. And I see Stellato looking at the score sheet. Boom, he's looking, and then he calls you over. You have to do a lot there from the time that play ends to when you get to Stellato till you get back out in the huddle. We have the play clocks going now in our field,
Yeah.
Processing that information, listening to him, and then getting to the line and making sure everyone's where it's supposed to be. How do you process all that information? The crowd's yelling, the clock's running. How do you process all that information clearly?
It's kind of like I zone out. I'm really in the moment, and I know what I need to do. And for other people it might be a struggle, but I've been doing this for a long time, so yeah. It makes sense when I do it.
You were the quarterback as an 8th grader on the JV team, correct? You played on the JV team.
I did.
Yeah. And as 7th grade, were you the quarterback too?
Yep.
You were the starting quarterback as a 7th grader on the JV team.
Oh, no, not JV.
Not JV.
I had
8th grade,
one year modified.
Yeah. 1 year modified as a 7th grader.
Yeah.
And then 8th grade, you were the starting quarterback.
Yep.
Wow. Did you always want to play quarterback?
Always. It's what I've always done. I think I played running back for a year in youth league.
Yeah.
But I've always been quarterback.
Wow. I love it, Dylan. Family and friends, leave him a question, leave him a comment. Any of his teachers are watching. certainly jump in and say hello as well. We're proud of you, Dylan. And, we talked off air about the Port Pride 5, that, you're doing these things, but it's not easy, right? People might think it looks easy to be the winning quarterback, and hey, your mom works here, it's easy, whatever. It's not. It's hard, but we're proud of you with what you're doing, and we're proud of you how you represent the school there. So try to play carefree and try to play with a smile on your face and a chip on your shoulder, and good luck. So, anything else you wanted to share, Dylan, that we didn't talk about?
Pretty sure we covered everything.
Yeah. How about the spring, Dylan? Do you play baseball too?
I used to.
You
Not
used
anymore.
to. Yeah. So what do you do in the spring?
It's football.
You right back to the
Football starts March.
How soon after wrestling ends do you go back to football?
Maybe a week, 2 weeks.
Oh my God. I saw you guys out there all spring long, and Stellato's out there directing traffic. It takes a lot to be a championship football player, so you guys certainly doing it. Your mom saying that the middle school class, a big fan of yours. Coach Carroll's watching. Board member Bill Harris is watching, the voice of Port Jervis there. So we're excited, Dylan. Good luck. Good luck for the rest of the season here, and for however long the season goes. Just know that we're rooting for you. Win or lose, we're proud of you. Obviously, we want you to win, but take it one game at a time. What's your message, Dylan, to all those youth football players, all those kids? I had Mason Decker on earlier this year, 6th grader, scored a touchdown at Giant Stadium, MetLife Stadium there. Little kids like Mason are watching you. What's your message to all of our Port Jervis athletes out there, our middle school, our freshman athletes, our younger kids?
Just keep at it. Keep at it. Because I know a few of the youth teams not having great seasons.
Mm-hmm.
When I played youth, I didn't have great seasons either. But, look at where I am now.
Yeah.
I had talked to 2 younger kids after our homecoming game. They were having a rough time in football. My dad brought them to my game so I could talk to them and show them, what it leads to and what football can lead to.
Yeah. Dylan, I just put a blog out there that, the Hall of Famers shared a lot what they learned by their failures. What could those kids learn from failure? What are some things that you've learned from failure?
I've learned, just consistency over time. Try to keep at and try to play at the same level that you have been. Try and level up every week. We've been saying that for a while. We try to level up every week as a team.
I like Coach Stellato's advice there. Compete. Just compete. I like that. Coach Jaharski is a great speaker. I feel extremely motivated when I hear him speak. Do you get into his pregame speeches? Is he the kid's on one knee and he's around dropping words of wisdom? Is he a good pregame speaker there?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Best I've heard.
Yeah.
I listen to college football pregame speeches, even NFL pregame speeches. I could still tell you that Sharksies are better.
Yeah.
You're not listening to anything else. You can't listen to anything else.
He's doing a heck of a job, coach, our football team here. So, well, good luck to all of our Raiders here. And again, all the people putting comments in here, we appreciate it. Dylan, Port Pride is everywhere. We have a ton of momentum moving forward. What does Port Pride mean to you?
Port Pride is really, the great community we live in. It's not just, people in our school district who have Port Pride, but it's also, the townspeople, whoever lives here, even people who don't live here, who have went to school here. It's all Port Pride. Having that when we won the bell, coming back to that parade, everybody outside cheering us on. It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You've been part of a few parades.
I have.
Yeah. Shout out to all of our fire departments and the people that come out. They're incredible. Really, the support of the team, as well as Dylan, all the people that feed you, all the meals, all those pregame meals. our cheerleaders, all our parents that help out. It's really a community there. The Red and Black Club really all go into the Port Jervis football program. So shout out to those folks as well. Do they tell you what the meal is tomorrow? You eating about 3 o'clock, 2:30, right after school? You eat?
Actually, well, usually the game's at 7. But
Yeah. Oh, it's 6 tomorrow. That's right. Yeah,
so
6
we
o'clock.
probably eat like 3:30.
Yeah.
It's always a surprise.
Okay. And does the people who host the meal, do they get to kind of talk to the team or say something? Does Coach Straharsky say something about the hosts of the meal?
Sometimes he does. Yeah. We always thank them for our meal.
Yeah.
They put in a lot of effort and they go through,
a lot of food.
A lot of food.
A lot of food.
Yeah.
Do you eat a lot, or you want to be kind of on an empty stomach a little
I
bit?
keep it minimum, enough to make me feel energized, but not enough to where I'm gonna feel sluggish.
Yeah, you got to move.
Yeah.
We don't want you getting hit behind the line there. So, Dylan Fox, everyone, Port Jervis High School junior, starting quarterback for our football program. You have a target weight you're going to wrestle at this year when you go to wrestling?
Yes. I was thinking 160.
Okay.
It's about where I'm at. I don't have to gain or lose too much weight.
Yeah.
And me and my friend Owen Carreri have been in a little bit of a rivalry.
He gave you a shout out when he was on the podcast.
Yeah, shout out Owen.
Yeah.
But we've always had to wrestle the same weight.
Yeah.
We kind of want to go our own ways instead of having to always wrestle each other.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to have space for your teammates there. Interesting how that wrestling slots it out and how it all works. So, well, good luck coming up here. We're going to be rooting for you. Take care of your body here. Be careful, no tripping on the sidewalk. Certainly watch that arm there as well. So, Dylan, you did great, man.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's not easy being the quarterback of the team. It's not easy being a winning quarterback as well. And this young man is a winner. So Dylan Fox, everybody, Port Jervis Schools, thank you for all the positive comments here. The community's behind you, Dylan. And again, one game at a time. And we know you will certainly perform at a high level. So good luck.
Thank you.
Appreciate a few minutes here during the week of a game. And this is a lot of fun. So, again, we started with a couple of announcements. The game tomorrow is at Gwinnett against Beacon, 6 o'clock, not 7. So with that time change, it's dark now at like 5 something. So it'll be dark. Shout out to our modified football team, 7-0. They went, Coach Amato, his coaching staff, Mr. Kamar, Mr. Citroniti, Coach Nacelle, and all those young men and ladies for the modified team. Middle school review Friday and Saturday. Friday at 7, Saturday at 1 in the high school auditorium. They have a show, and certainly a shout out to all of our veterans here on Veterans Day weekend. It is Veterans Day on Monday. Your dad gave you a nice shout out there. Thank you, Mr. Fox. Great young man here. So we're going to sign off on the podcast. Keep showing your Port Pride, friends. And again, happy to have Dylan Fox here. Dylan, good luck, man. Can I get a go Port?
Go Port.
There we go. There's from the quarterback. He said it himself. Go Port. Here we go. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to sign off here on Port Center.